The first 40 seconds of this story are crucial, so listen closely, because what you're about to hear may rewrite everything you thought you knew about Menglong's death. For weeks, the public accepted the official report, a tragic accident due to excessive drinking. But behind closed doors, investigators have uncovered a chilling trail of evidence, 20 separate findings that could prove that his death wasn't an accident at all. Instead, they point directly toward the agency that once controlled every aspect of his career, now on the brink of losing its license permanently. By the end of this video, you'll see the evidence that authorities say should never have existed, and you'll understand why this scandal has shaken the entertainment industry to its core. So stay with me till the end, because what started as an accidental death might just expose the most powerful agency scandal China has seen in years. In the weeks following Menglong's official death report, the atmosphere around his agency, Lantai Entertainment, was oddly calm, too calm. The media had accepted the narrative. Menglong had attended a private party, consumed alcohol beyond his limit, and met a tragic end. But the cracks began to show when inconsistencies started leaking through internal staff messages. A junior production assistant, whose identity is now under protection, claimed that the night Menglong died, his official driver was suddenly replaced. That driver's name was wiped from the agency records the very next morning. At first, it seemed like nothing more than administrative confusion, until the investigative unit from the Shanghai Cultural Regulation Board got involved. They began a quiet audit, originally just to verify license renewals. But within weeks, they stumbled upon discrepancies that went far beyond paperwork. What they found linked directly to Menglong's death and to what may be the biggest industry cover-up in years. The first piece of evidence came from an internal memo dated just 3 days before his death. It contained a confidential order: limit exposure. Monitor all private activities. Avoid media leaks about ongoing project disputes. Those words alone wouldn't have meant much, except the memo was signed by an executive who had resigned 2 months prior. Investigators quickly realized that this memo was backdated. Someone inside Lantai Entertainment had forged administrative records to make it appear legitimate. When questioned, staff members claimed they had no idea who authorized it. But the digital metadata told a different story. The memo was created from a computer in the CEO's private office at 3:47 a.m. hours after the reported time of Menglong's death. As the investigation deepened, authorities began tracing payments made through shadow accounts tied to the agency's financial branch. Over 2.8 million yen had been transferred to consultants during the week following Menglong's passing. None of these consultants were registered. It was the fourth payment, 480,000 yen, made to a damage control unit, that opened the floodgates. The recipient, a PR handler, later confessed that the funds were used to suppress leaked footage from the hotel lobby. That's when the second major discovery was made: footage #12B, taken from a camera that mysteriously stopped recording just as Menglong entered the elevator for the last time. Experts confirmed the data tampering. Someone had edited a 5-minute gap. The same night, a security guard received an anonymous transfer of 35,000 yen, enough to ensure his silence. By this point, public trust in Lantai Entertainment was evaporating. Fans began demanding answers online, but the agency's silence only made things worse. And then came the leak. A whistleblower uploaded fragments of the internal investigation to a restricted forum on the dark web, the same digital space where a month earlier, actress Song Eun's emotional video had surfaced, showing her connecting dots between Menglong's death and the agency's manipulation. In the leaked document, one headline stood out: Evidence number 7, internal compliance breach, unauthorized personnel present at scene. Investigators later confirmed that 2 agency executives were indeed at the same hotel the night of Menglong's supposed accident. They were not there for business, and neither of them was registered as a guest. A witness, an event coordinator who had worked with Menglong that week, stated in a sworn statement. He wasn't drunk. He was scared. He said he'd found something in the agency's contract records that could end everything. That was the last time I saw him. Evidence number 9 was even more damning: an encrypted message recovered from Menglong's own phone, timestamped just 17 minutes before the reported accident. The message read, "They know I'm talking. If anything happens, it's not what they say." The message was never sent. His phone was later found in the hotel bathroom sink, submerged in water. At this point, investigators from the Ministry of Culture stepped in, expanding their audit beyond Menglong's case to the agency's overall operations. What they found painted a horrifying pattern: forced contract signings, manipulation of artist reputations, falsified medical reports, and illegal talent insurance clauses that profited from sudden deaths or incapacitations. In short, the agency's survival depended on its stars, but also benefited from their downfall. When the media finally caught wind of the internal inquiry, Lantai Entertainment tried to defend itself. Their official statement read, "We have full confidence in the legal process and deny all allegations regarding Yu Menglong's unfortunate passing." But by then, it was too late. Evidence number 12 through number 15 had already leaked to independent journalists, among them transaction logs proving that executives communicated with private investigators to retrieve or destroy materials linked to the night of Menglong's death. And the most shocking piece. Evidence number 16, a signed insurance policy, taken out 2 weeks before his death, worth nearly 50 million yen. The beneficiary? The agency itself. That single document turned the case from an administrative scandal into a criminal investigation. Public outrage exploded. Fans filled Weibo and Bilibili with hashtags demanding justice. #Justice for Yu Menglong, #Lantai license suspension, #Who killed Menglong. Within 48 hours, the government's Cultural Regulation Board announced an emergency review of Lantai Entertainment's license. The audit uncovered 20 total pieces of evidence, each more incriminating than the last: falsified reports, witness bribery, deleted footage, manipulated financial statements, and insurance fraud. One insider, who had worked in the PR division for 5 years, confessed during questioning, "We were told to protect the image of the agency at all costs, even if it meant rewriting the truth." Her voice cracked when she added, "You tried to fight them." He knew too much. As news broke, Song Erin resurfaced publicly for the first time since the leaked video. She appeared pale and tense during an unannounced livestream, her eyes red but steady. She didn't mention names, but her words carried weight. The truth always finds its way. Sometimes it takes losing everything before it's seen. Viewers knew exactly who she was talking about. Within minutes, her video had over 6 million views and became evidence number 19, marked public confessional impact. The final evidence, number 20, was the nail in the coffin: a USB drive recovered from a dismissed IT employee's locker. Inside it was a full, unedited video file labeled Menglong_camera_original.move. The footage showed Yu Menglong entering the hotel elevator, completely sober. His expression was tense, as if expecting something. Seconds later, 2 men in black suits stepped in after him. One pressed the emergency stop button. The footage cut out, not due to a camera malfunction, but because the internal system had been overridden remotely. The trace logs led directly back to Lantai Entertainment's server. When the public report was released, the Ministry of Culture didn't hesitate. Lantai Entertainment's license was suspended indefinitely pending criminal review. Days later, the suspension became permanent. The official reason cited: severe ethical, financial, and administrative violations linked to the concealment of evidence in a celebrity death. Executives were detained for questioning. Several employees disappeared from the radar. The agency's building, once glittering with success, was sealed off for forensic audit. And yet, as shocking as this was, one question continued to haunt the nation: if this is what they found, what else have they been hiding? In the aftermath, fans began organizing vigils outside major entertainment venues, lighting candles and placing photos of Yu Menglong alongside signs that read, "Truth never dies." Meanwhile, international media picked up the story, calling it China's biggest entertainment corruption scandal of the decade. Some platforms even claimed that a second wave of arrests was expected, involving multiple agencies that had previously partnered with Lantai. The entire industry trembled. But amidst all the chaos, something deeper resonated: the realization that Menglong's accident had become the spark that ignited a revolution for transparency in the entertainment world. Behind every trending tag, every leaked photo, and every suppressed video was a haunting message: that silence could no longer be bought. Today, as investigators prepare to release the final public report, speculation continues. Some say new files are yet to be decrypted, possibly containing communications between Lantai executives and law enforcement insiders. Others believe this was only the beginning, and that Menglong had unearthed evidence tied to more than one agency. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain: Lantai Entertainment will never operate again. Their name is now synonymous with betrayal, greed, and the destruction of a star who trusted them with his career and his life. And for millions of fans across the world, justice, even if delayed, has finally begun to unfold. Before you go, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this shocking investigation? The story didn't end with the agency's suspension, it began there. What happened inside Lantai Entertainment in those final 72 hours before they lost their license forever was something out of a psychological thriller. The moment the notice arrived from the Ministry of Culture, panic erupted behind those glass doors. Staff members scrambled to delete files, shred contracts, and burn through years of concealed records. But the investigators were already one step ahead. They had bugged the agency's internal servers days before. Every panicked conversation, every whispered confession, every failed attempt to cover up the truth was recorded. The first scene caught on surveillance was inside the executive meeting room. It was 2:13 a.m. The agency's CEO, Chen Wolin, slammed her palm on the table and shouted, "Who gave them the files? Who sent the dark web leak?" Her voice echoed off the walls as her assistant tried to calm her down. Another executive muttered, "If they decrypt everything, it's over. The insurance policy, the lobby footage, all of it." And then came the chilling moment that silenced the room. A voice, trembling but clear, said, "He told me they were following him. Menglong said someone from our side wanted him gone." That was the moment investigators realized they weren't just dealing with an agency scandal. They were dealing with a chain of coordinated actions that might have led to a celebrity's death. As dawn broke, the agency's building turned into a fortress of fear. Employees were questioned one after another, escorted by investigators through dim hallways that once sparkled with fame and success. Inside the archive room, officers discovered several USB drives hidden behind framed posters of Menglong's past dramas. They contained copies of contracts, payment receipts, and one folder titled Confidential, September 11th. When decrypted, the files revealed private communications between top executives discussing how to manage Menglong's behavioral instability, words that were later proven to be fabricated. He wasn't unstable. He was resisting. The more they read, the clearer it became. Menglong had discovered the agency's illegal insurance network, one that secretly insured actors under false health conditions, using their names and likenesses without consent. The policy that insured his life wasn't the first. It was the seventh. Investigators began piecing together a disturbing pattern. 7 actors, all previously affiliated with Lantai, had died or vanished under uncertain circumstances in the last 6 years. Every single case was quietly closed as accidental. But here's the catch: every single one of them had an insurance payout routed to the agency. The evidence was overwhelming. Yet, what made the investigators' blood run cold wasn't the money, it was the voice recording found in Menglong's phone backup. It was dated just 2 nights before his death. His tone was calm but filled with resignation. "If this gets out, they'll try to erase me. They don't protect us, they own us. I'm not afraid anymore." The file abruptly ended with the sound of a door opening, followed by a deep male voice saying, "We just want to talk." That clip was classified for weeks. But when the investigative team replayed it during the hearing, even senior officials were visibly shaken. It was the kind of evidence that made silence impossible. Meanwhile, the fallout spread like wildfire. Multiple sponsors withdrew from their contracts with Lantai Entertainment. Streaming platforms pulled the agency's productions from their lineups. Actors who once proudly displayed the company's logo on their social media quietly deleted every trace. And then came the moment that turned everything upside down. An anonymous email was sent to the investigation board containing a new file titled lobby_truth.mp4. When opened, it showed the hotel lobby on the night of Menglong's death, from an angle no one had seen before. In that footage, Menglong was seen entering the elevator with two unidentified men. The timestamp confirmed what investigators had long suspected: he was alive and well minutes before his accident. But what happened next froze everyone in the room. One of the men reached into his jacket, pulled out a syringe, and the elevator doors closed. The video cut there, but the timestamp matched the missing 5-minute gap from the hotel's official footage. That video alone became the final proof needed to revoke Lantai Entertainment's license permanently. When news of the footage leaked to the press, the internet exploded. Overnight, hashtags like #YouMenglong'Justice and #LantaiCollapse dominated every trending list in Asia. Fans cried in disbelief, others raged in anger, demanding arrests. For the first time, the Ministry of Culture made the evidence public, something rarely done in celebrity cases. It was their way of saying, the truth deserves to be seen. Meanwhile, insiders described the day the agency's license was officially revoked as the longest day in Chinese entertainment history. At exactly 11:47 a.m., officers entered the building and sealed the main door with red tape. The agency logo was pulled down from the marble wall. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted, and for a brief moment silence fell over the crowd outside. Then, as if symbolically, one of the large digital billboards across the street, which once displayed Lantai's upcoming projects, flickered off. And when it came back on, it was showing Yu Menglong's smiling face from a 2018 photoshoot. The coincidence was eerie. The crowd began to chant his name, tears flowing freely. Inside, officers escorted Chen Wolin and 3 senior managers out in handcuffs. One of them, visibly shaking, screamed, "It wasn't supposed to go this far. He was supposed to keep quiet." Her words echoed across every news channel that day. At that exact moment, Song Erin, who had been silent since her last livestream, posted just 3 words on Weibo. "He kept quiet." That post went viral within seconds, amassing millions of shares. It became the symbolic line that defined the entire scandal, a heartbreaking reminder that silence had cost Menglong his life. In the following days, more employees came forward, admitting they were ordered to delete records, manipulate evidence, and create false reports. One even confessed that the official medical report released after Menglong's death had been edited inside the agency before being forwarded to the police. The original report, later recovered, showed no traces of alcohol in his system. As investigators pieced everything together, the truth was undeniable. Lantai Entertainment's empire had been built on deception, sustained by fear, and destroyed by its own greed. When the final public statement was made, the words carried a heavy finality. License permanently revoked. All associated assets frozen. Further investigation ongoing. The entertainment world was stunned. Dozens of agencies issued public statements claiming they supported justice, but audiences were no longer naive. People demanded transparency. They wanted systemic change, accountability for every name tied to the corruption. And through it all, Yu Menglong's legacy transformed. He was no longer just an actor or an idol, he became the face of truth, the one who dared to uncover what others buried. In one haunting detail that surfaced weeks later, investigators found Menglong's unfinished project notes on his laptop. Among the files was a document titled Light After Silence. It was reportedly a script he had been working on himself about a man trapped by a powerful system, fighting to expose it from within. No one knows if he knew it would mirror his own story. But now, fans have started a petition to produce the film posthumously as a tribute to him and as a reminder that no voice should ever be silenced again. Now, with the agency gone and investigations expanding into other companies, one question remains: who were the 2 men seen in that final footage with Menglong in the elevator? Were they hired by the agency? Or was someone else pulling the strings? Authorities haven't revealed their identities yet, but insiders claim new arrests could be made soon. And if that's true, this story isn't over. It's only the beginning of something much darker, something far more powerful than one agency's fall. So now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe justice has truly been served for Yu Menglong? Or do you think there are still powerful figures behind the scenes hiding from exposure? Which part of this investigation shocked you the most, the insurance scheme, the edited footage, or the chilling voice recording from Menglong's phone? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about what this means for the entertainment world and how far the truth can go before it's silenced again. And if this story kept you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because the next revelation might be even bigger than this one. Stay tuned, and remember, truth always finds its voice.